Alright, this is an idea. I literally had to take the trim off so that I can do what I need to do. For instance, I have to be underneath. I need to have that gap or smaller, which I made it tight over there so I can push real hard. So I'll slide the whole floor this way, but this is how difficult it is. It has to be till it's totally tight. You have to make sure. If you don't, even then it might come out. Then you lay it down. Hopefully you can put it in this way. There's a gap right here. Then you lift both up, which is really tight with your fingers. Notice I can't get anything to hammer it together because I'm too close. Imagine if I had trim, I couldn't do this. So now I have to put this in here, put a pry bar and push this way. Hopefully it'll go together. I've got to keep all this until that closes up. I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but that's got to go inside, and it absolutely has to go inside. When you're using the full planks, you push until you can see these two lined up right there. Like when this piece and this piece are going together, you know when this seam is put in, whenever those two sides are lined up. But this is the most irritating bunch of flooring I've ever dealt with. It's not easy. You can do it, but it's not easy. Having to take the trim off and put it back on is going to cost me a lot of time, not because of taking the trim off, but because I got to repair all the damage to the paint. And it's just going to be a nuisance. And this flooring has been 4 times as hard, maybe more, to put together. So I don't recommend it. If you're stuck with it, just make sure you pay attention to the details where it's together. You can cut small cuts with snips. You gotta be careful when you get to the very end of the snip, it'll try to fracture. So you want to cut with a razor knife first, say if you're doing the notch. So you notch it with a razor knife to kind of control where it breaks. But you can take snips and cut. You can take a saw and cut. Anything like a jigsaw or a sawzall is going to shake you all up. Maybe an oscillating saw where it's this way, but this stuff is really hard. It's not like easy to break and snap like the other people say. And if you don't take my word for it, you'll find out when you get it. It's a real hassle. If you've ever done any other flooring, this is hard as any I've ever done. It looks neat if you get it right. The problem is when you go against the wall with spacers, if you don't put enough spacers, or if the wall is not straight enough, when you push up against it, these joints will go up. So you have to stagger your joints as much as 6 inches or more. And when you push up against it, if this joint has not got backing behind it, or if it's a little bit of a bow right here, it bows like this, it'll pop open. So I'm telling you, it's a major hassle to deal with this stuff because it's such a small ledge to sit on. I mean, it is so small. There's my fingernail. It holds somewhat, but it is a hassle. In a lot of ways. But other than that, you follow the basic layout of rooms and things like that. But I'm telling you, you want to go with something different than